You know who it is. It's your boy, Big Tank Hank, coming at you with a new live stream. Tonight, people, for those out there who are really, really, really into shrimp, I got somebody that probably have what you're looking for. Most definitely, most definitely. We got Mr. Grant of the Garden of Eder. We're going to bring him up and let him tell you a little bit about himself. What's going on, sir?
Hey man, how's it going?
Oh, man, I'm chilling. I'm chilling. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. We're going to see who we got in the chat first. And then I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Thunder Aquatics, first in the door. What's going on? Ricky de Hoyos. What's going down? What's going down? All right. So, Grant, give a little rundown, a little breakdown of who you are, your origin, and what you got going on.
All
Spider
right.
Mom, what's happening?
So I first started getting into the hobby when I was younger. My mom started taking me to a local river called the Wickiwachi River. And instead of going down the slides all day and swimming out to the dock and whatnot, I would take a little net and a pail and go into the guppy grass and try and catch myself as many shrimp as I possibly could. And then every time we go back, I'd try to beat my personal record. Eventually got a fish tank when I was 6 years old. Before that, I even had some reptiles, some minnow lizards, and iguana, and cats and dogs that were always a constant uh, in the household. And then also had blue macaw as well as a parrot, and was very lucky as a child to be able to get quite a different variety of animals. Quite a few people called the house a zoo as we were growing up. At one time, we even had like 5 dogs in the house. So we, I was just very lucky to be around that, and just a lot of invertebrates around me. I had a buddy who lived on a local lake. And every time it rained, the crawfish would climb out of the lake and crawl into his lawn and his driveway. And we would go through and pick out all the different colors. There's blues, and then every very rare, we would get a white one. And then you get your common reds and brown and black ones too. So, but we would also, when I would go to Hawaii, I would take bubble gum and a little bit of fishing line and fish for crabs. And the crabs would pinch on the gum, get stuck. You pull the crab in, take it off the gum, pull the crab apart, use the meat to fish with. And then at like full moon, we would use the bait and lure out coral banded shrimps. And then we would sell the shrimps to the local fish store, and we used the bunny to buy pizza. So I was kind of like just always around shrimp one way or another, or some type of invertebrate. And then in high school, I joined the swim team, met Shelby. We started dating. She had an Oscar and a Grammy tank. And then I thought it would be a good idea if I got a tank, she'd want to spend more time at my house. So I ended up getting a Jack Dempsey tank. And then I had my own little feeder tank where I would breed Endler guppies and then feed the culls to the Jack Dempsey, but I would also go through as many ghost shrimp as I possibly could every time I'd go to the pet store. And, we were talking about before. At the time, I had no idea what I was doing, so I was never able to breed the ghost shrimp myself. But now I know why. But moving forward, eventually Shelby wanted a chameleon. I got her a chameleon for her birthday, and then taking care of it, buying all the different varieties of bugs and feeding the bugs a variety of food themselves. I was thinking, man, there's got to be a better way to pay for itself or something like that to afford, or got to be a cheaper way. And the only way I thought was to breed them. And we got 2 chameleons, and we had babies off the first success. Off the first hatch, we were very successful. We had 14 of the babies survived to be able to sell. and that was like very rare at the time. It was like 20% survival rate for Jackson chameleons was kind of common. So we moved on to Panther chameleons, and we had anywhere between 42 different chameleons breeding at the time. Then we had 60 to 90 babies that we were raising, and 90 eggs in the incubator at all times. And we were also doing leopard geckos as well. And then eventually, my dad wanted to sell his landscape business, and it just brought in too much money to pass up. So I bought that off of him, and I just didn't have time to take care of crickets and worms for 2 hours every day. So I sold off my chameleons, stumbled across shrimp, and decided to get some cherry shrimp. 1 tank led to 3 tank. Then I got some blue velvets. Right away, I had a bacterial issue, and I lost all my blue velvets except for 1. Decided to throw that 1 in with my red cherries, and then they crossbred, made some red rillies, and then I was hooked, and I was like, this is the genetic cross and fun that I wanted to have. And the reproduction rate for chameleons, if you get the pair together, you got to have them together for like 3 days, make sure the female is pregnant or gravid. And then she'd take like 30 days for her to develop the eggs, lay the eggs. And then once you got the eggs, it would take anywhere from 6 to 9 months to a year and a half for the eggs to hatch. And then once the eggs hatch, you couldn't sell the babies until they were 2 months old. And then you didn't know if a male was going to be a stunner or a dud until he was a year old. So there was just, I'm young. I was still young back then. And I just wasn't patient enough for that. But I was trying. But I was thinking, man, there's got to be something else out there. And then when I found out shrimp are 30 days, the eggs to hatch. And then from there, once the egg hatches, you can get that baby to breed itself within 2 to 3 months. So the reproduction rate, turnaround, and everything like that for shrimp is a lot quicker. And with shrimp, with Neocaridina, they can be dull in color for like the first month or so like that. But that's way faster than a year. And with most Caridina, you can tell what the colors are and what the parents or babies are going to turn out to look like when they're adults fairly quickly, with way before a month. So they're a lot easier on working with genetics that way. A lot less patient.
Okay. Man, that's a lot of chameleons you had percolating at one time. So
yeah, they're cool though.
What was the profit margin per se with those chameleons as opposed to the shrimp?
So we were actually doing really well. Just we had a kid right before my dad offered to sell the landscape business. So I just wasn't making $80,000 a year selling chameleons. So I thought I should take over the landscape business. But for the chameleons, we were raising all of our own crickets and worms. So all I was really doing was buying food for the crickets and worms, and we were growing a lot of the hibiscus and mustard seed and stuff like that we were feeding the crickets. So we weren't spending too much on feeding everything, and they were relatively cheap for water and lights and stuff like that. I'd go to Repticon, but the babies, the Panther chameleons were selling for $250 a piece, and you'd get anywhere from 30 to 60 eggs in a clutch, and not so many, only like 45 eggs was like our biggest clutch. And then some of the adults, like if they don't sell at 2 months old, the adults sell for like $350 and up. Some of them, I think I sold our stunner male for like $500 when we got out of it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the chameleons are sounding pretty good to me. Yeah, my wife won't be trying to have it though.
Yeah, that's a hard one to pass up if
Right.
she's not already into it.
Yeah, no.
I got lucky. Shelby asked me for the chameleon, so.
Oh, okay. Let me see. We got a lot of people that fell in the door. Let me show them a little props. Spider Mom, 1978. What's going on? Melvin Reeve, what's happening? Thank you for coming in. Spider Mom says she's showing love. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. God bless. God bless. Maine, tail, furs, and fins. That's Miss Jess. I saw him telling you happy birthday. Happy birthday, ma'am.
Happy
Johnny
birthday.
Johnson. That's my uncle right there, y'all. Welcome him in. Welcome him in. Thank you. Jeffrey Watts in the house. Fishy Biz, Jeffrey Watts is who I got the really shrimp from right there. Fishy
nice.
Biz Aquatics. What's going on? Amazon Research Center for Ornamental Fishes. Thank you for coming through. Thank you very much. Roderick Moore, that's my cousin coming through. Thank you for coming through and visiting. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Family in the house. Driftwood Aqua Studio, welcome, welcome, welcome. What else we got?
What's
Who
up,
else we got?
Corey?
80 HD Aquatics. Hey, lady, what's going on? Big Easy Support Group. What's going on? Thank you for coming through. E. All right, all right. Is that everybody? James, guy, what's going on, sir? What's going on? Aqua Funk, what's happening, sir?
What's going on, Aquafunk? He's a local club member of mine.
Okay, okay. At least somebody'll have it. Ah, Jennifer Weaver, how do? Geek Boy, what's going on? See y'all coming through. Hey, y'all hit that like and that share button. Let everybody know where we're hanging out. Bring the cool kids in. All right. So, man, do you ever think back and say, hey, those comedians were really popping. Maybe I need to go back and look into that a little bit.
So I actually have a buddy of mine. He's in Orlando. He keeps shrimp as well, and he is getting into chameleons. And he's got eggs in the incubator. And if you ask my son what he wants a snake. You ask my daughter what she wants chameleons. And she's probably going to get what she wants first. So as soon as he gets some chameleons that are around 2 months age that we can bring some home, I'm probably going to get some off of him because he's got a couple of the phenotypes that I want to get my hands back on again. So, and we've had chameleons out in the greenhouse as well, but I want to keep something inside. And we're building a room inside our living room right now of tanks. And I think the corner might have a good spot left for an open screen chameleon cage.
Okay. I see this rabbit hole, man. I see this rabbit hole, and I'm trying to steer away from it. Snakes, man. The ball pythons, dude. I just, the morphs, dude, just keep showing up, coming from out of the woodworks.
Yeah, my son wants a banana, and I'm looking at least $300 for a first time snake. And I understand we go to these shows, and the kids have already seen everything, and it's kind of like the thing he can't have, he wants the most. I don't want to deal with rats and rodents. I just don't. And of course, that's what he wants. My neighbor's a vet tech. As a kid, running down the side of my house, you look over and you see her reptile room. She's got 20 different corn snakes and ball python. I don't think she had any ball pythons. I think it was all just corn snakes and rat snakes, maybe. I wasn't into the snakes. I was more into her the Chinese water dragon and her bearded dragon.
Nice,
she had a huge leopard gecko, Pac-Man. She got Myrtle the turtle. It's a little musk turtle. And then she'd always have like guinea pigs, squirrels, and different things like that. So I wasn't into the snakes, but that's what he's into. And I have no issue with snakes. Like if you come to the house and you're not from Florida and you see a snake and you're like, oh, dude, point that out. I've had friends be like, oh, dude, I want to see it. And I've jumped into a bush and grabbed it for them. Like I've got a picture where I like almost got bit, but they don't bother me. It's just like taking care of the rats to feed them the right way. I believe in like you really got to feed. If you're gonna take care of something, you need to feed it properly. You know, with the dogs or whatever it is, all the way down to the shrimp. Even if when we were breeding cockroaches, those cockroaches ate better than most people's kids did.
That's the hissing.
No, not the hissing ones.
Dubia.
No, we can't have dubias either. I can't even remember. Discoid, discoid, maybe. I don't remember. It's been so long since I kept them. But the dubias are illegal in Florida, so it was something close, but like they were super clean. You think the roaches are going to be dirty or something like that, but we bred them out in the tiki bar, not in the house. But they compared to crickets, they were much cleaner and they didn't stink. And so it was a surprise. But we were doing everything from superworms, mealworms, phoenix worms, the pinto bean beetles, and crickets, springtails, the works. If it could go into reptiles, we were breeding it.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. All right. Well, yeah. Now that's a big jump from the reptiles, the jumping off like that, over to the itty bitty shrimp. Now let's go in between now. What do you have on the fish side? Fish, reptiles, give me a breakdown of everything that you got that y'all drop and feed in on.
So Shelby's got 2 leopard geckos that she takes care of, Rex and Peaches. And then the kids have 3 axolotls. Then we've got 2 diamondback ornate turtles out in the pool. And then they gave us 3 clutches of eggs last year, and we kept 5 of the hatchlings from those. So we got those going as well. We've got some dart frogs. Jaden's got some angelfish as well as a flower horn. Layla's got some daisy rice fish and some cory cats. And then Shelby's got a bunch of Achilles fish, some Danios. And then we've got a pool is converted into a 16,000-gallon koi and turtle pond. So we got koi out there as well. Yeah. The hot tub is also, we use that to grow plants, and that water falls into the pool.
Okay. So. Hey, man, look, that's like one of those dream type of things. I just have this picture in my head. That would be something I would be so crazy about.
Yeah, we have a sinkhole issue in Florida, and my house is no different. And we have a very large cavern that was sitting underneath our house, and insurance didn't want to cover the cost to fill the hole in. So they put basically our house in stilts into the sediment that will not wear over a time. So it's more permanent. The cavern can collapse and fall out. Our pool will be gone, but the house we'll still be able to sleep in our bed and then figure out how to get to the mainland again. But what happened was my neighbor next door, they quoted him for 23 truckloads of concrete. We needed way more than that. So they denied us on that route. But for him, they went with it. And what ended up happening is they dumped 98 trucks of concrete into his house because it was all going into mine. So I think the sinkhole filled in quite a bit, but my pool is not done shifting yet. So until my pool shifts, I don't want to fix and repair everything because it's just going to crack again. And it was just leaking water right below the skimmer level. So until my ground settles and I know my pool's not going to sink anymore, there's no point in fixing it. I'm just going to lose chemicals and pool water, and that's expensive. So I turned it into a koi and turtle pond, and now I make money off of it instead of dumping money into it every month.
Hey, that's the way to do. Pull money out instead of putting money in. That's most definitely a wonderful thing, man. Hey, that's cool.
Yeah,
ADHD.
We hooked up a grow bed into the pool system. So I grow Monte Carlo, dwarf baby tears, repens, all different types of stem plants, crypts, anubis, bucephalodendra, and Pogos helferi or downoi. So I usually go pretty heavy to my local clubs with a bunch of plants, and it's all stuff that I grow out of the system in my backyard.
Okay. Submerged, immersed.
So it's emerged growth, but because I have constant water flowing through it, it grows submerged form in most of the stuff that I grow. So it doesn't melt when you add it to the tanks, and it does fairly well as long as you have the right system for it. If you get baby tears, you're going to need, high tech CO2, high light fertilizer, and everything like that. So, but the Monte Carlo, you can use that in lower techs, but there won't be any melting or any issues like that. We use it for our scapes a lot, but we just had a bad freeze and I lost almost everything.
Okay, okay. Patrick Hardy, what's going on? No ADHD. You got me intrigued over here talking about you got the announcement. Are you going live or are you just gonna do a video? Thank you for those links, Geek Boy. Thank you very much. So, on the shrimp, how many do I want to go there yet? What's your plans coming in the door with the shrimp when you first got them?
So with the chameleons, my goal was to make something different. I wanted to create something new that nobody's seen before, basically. And that's what I thought I could do with the shrimp a lot quicker because the reproduction rate is a lot faster. So that's why I crossbreed everything. That's why I have 200. Well, that's why we crossbreed everything. That's why we have 200 different tanks, is because we want to go down different roads that other people aren't trying. So eventually, I've got to have the most tanks, or at least the most tanks going in one direction if I'm going to want to create something new. And then, overseas in Asia, Germany, and stuff like that, they're way ahead in the shrimp game than we are. So we've got some catching up to do just to catch up to them. But that's what we're trying to do. We're currently setting up a rack for 110-gallon tanks. So we're just waiting for substrate. And we already got rid of the couches. We're gonna have to get. They're just in the way to build the whole rack stand, and we wanted to upgrade anyways. So Shelby said, "Get rid of them, and we just won't have any company or make any party plans at the house." So, but I plan as we had an aquascape contest the whole family participated in for the Florida State Fair. That was just last week or the week before. So we had that plus Aquashella this month. So I was like, you know what? We can't even get the soil in yet. Let's not worry about building the stand. But we still have everything prepped and ready to go. But we're just not rushing it to get done. So, but once it's done, we'll get new couches and it'll be our new live stream setup. This is all just temporary, but it's a lot better than what we had beforehand. So,
okay, how many strains would you say you have of shrimp?
Currently, we got 130, but we do have like different patterns of the same type of shrimp that we could break into different groups and get over 140 if I had to. But I could break them down into 130 real quick.
So how many are strains that you created as opposed to this is how I bought it and here it is?
So I've made plenty of strains from scratch. That's what I like about. Well, it's not what I like to do because I want to make something new, but it's what you need to do to figure out how other people made what they made, so you're not wasting your time replicating something else. So I have maybe 4 types of shrimp that nobody else has in the world. that I know of, at least. 2 for sure.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about, man. When you can have a dream and you can actually in your lifetime be living it through rather than work hard, pass it to the next generation, and then let them see the fruits. That's real cool, man. That's real cool.
I like to think of it as like playing the lottery. Each shrimp is a lottery ticket. So the more tanks I have, the more shrimp I have, the more lottery tickets I have. And it's not like a mega millions lottery. It's more like I'm playing with $20 scratch off tickets. So, but they're scratch off tickets that make more scratch off tickets. So it's great.
Gotcha. No matter what. Gotcha. Craig Doniger, welcome in. Man. Build us one of your shrimp tanks. Like, so we can get a mental picture of what you're rocking.
All right. So we like to use a 10-gallon tank. That is the bare minimum. If you can go bigger, but not everybody has enough space. And for us, we're trying to set up as many different varieties as we can. So we're doing as many 10-gallon tanks as we basically can. Smaller than 10 gallons, they tend to breed less, grow slower, and more difficult to keep all the parameters steady. So that's about it. 10-gallon tank. I love sponge filters. However, if you insist on a canister filter or hang on the back filter, there are shrimp safe guards that you can put on the intake to stop the babies from getting sucked up. And they don't need a lot of flow, but they do need oxygen. It is not mandatory to have a filter, but I strongly suggest if you're trying to breed shrimp that you have a filter. The higher levels of oxygen in the tank, the higher baby survival rate you're going to have. You don't need a heater, however. Most shrimp are not going to be in a situation where the temperature are going to drop or rise too quickly. If they're outside, it's the water is going to slowly rise or fall depending on how large the volume of water is. So if you're doing them outside or something like that, go bigger volume of water. But they don't need heaters in the wintertime. They don't need chillers in the summer. And then just a little bit of substrate for neocardinas. You got to have an inert substrate or just KH in your water to fight the buffering capability of the soil if you go aqua soil. For caridina, you got to have RO water with GH only minerals, and then you have to have the aqua soil to bring the pH down. And then we just a little bit of moss or boost or some type of Anubis plant and driftwood if you want to get fancy, but that's about it.
Okay. Now, do you have any caridina?
Yeah, everything inside the house is caridina except for maybe 10 tanks of neos that we just no, we got more than 10 now. I forgot 8 of these tanks are neos, but so like 200 tanks in the house are all caridina.
Lonnie, Levi, what's going on? Welcome in the door, y'all. All right. Now, how many tubs of shrimp would you say you have outside?
We've got 50 tubs of shrimp, and we've got plans to set up another 30 more. I broke my ankle just after Thanksgiving, so I'm running out of time where it's prime weather in Florida to get that done. I wish I could have already had it set up and everything like that while it was nice and cold outside, but I'll get it done here before it gets too hot out. But we have 50 ponds right now. Everything is neocaridina outside.
50 tubs, y'all, of shrimp outside.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, what would you say is, in your opinion, the best way to feed the shrimp? Because you got some people directly feed shrimp. Some people let the shrimp uh, feed bio on the biofilm. What's your way of doing it?
So when I get my shrimp, I make sure I set the tank up for at least 30 days, so that way there's a well-established amount of biofilm in the tank. The shrimp's main food source should be biofilm, so they should be eating that for 80% of their food source. And so after I get the shrimp for the first week, I won't feed anything. I'll let them just nibble on the biofilm, get used to the tank, and let the bacteria in the filter adjust to the bioload that the shrimp just brought in. And then I'll feed them very small amounts. If the shrimp don't eat all of the food within the first hour, I remove the food. I use the commercial shrimp food pellets. I really like Shrimp Envy, CSF, Secret Shrimp Food from Biped Shrimp is also another good one. I those foods I like to rotate through them so that the shrimp never get the same food within like the same 2 weeks or so. And I don't use any powdered foods. I am just now starting to experiment again with powdered foods in a couple of my tanks where uh, the paracaridina, just the baby survival rate, isn't as high as I'd like it to be. But it's just pericaridina that I'm having that issue in. So everything else is just fed every other day.
So what are you feeding them if you're not feeding powder?
Just pellets.
Okay.
They thought I had some nearby, but they're just like not some of them are in wafer form, but they're like very small wafers.
Gotcha. Any particular reason you prefer that to powder?
So I really don't like the whole dirtying up the water column and making the water dirty. I think that most of the food ends up getting sucked up into the filter and not going to where the shrimp need to get it. And for the most part, the biofilm is all around the tank already. So the food that I'm putting into the tank, I make sure that it's able for the shrimp to grab it. I don't like foods that are really hard for them to break down. I like something nice and soft that the food's going to break up. The shrimp can go grab its own little piece and then run off into its little corner in the tank and feel safe, comfortable, and nibble away.
Okay. Have you ever tried the Rapashi?
Man, I'm lazy. And that stuff smells, and it's too much work. I'd rather just buy 400 grams of this type of food and then feed it.
Gotcha. Freaky Fish Lady, what's going on? Welcome in, welcome in. So is there any particular type of shrimp that you're wanting to get your hands on?
Currently, right now, I would like to get my hands on some orange-eyed. Um, they're called Lapis Shrimp. They're like a shadow panda almost with orange eyes. I have a buddy over in Texas, Ruben. Shout out Shrimp Pimp. He's he's got some going, and hopefully that when I'm in Texas next time, I'll be able to come home with some. That's the plan.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in Houston, Texas.
Not that far then.
Shrimp Pimp. Already. All right. So, let everybody know how that they can acquire shrimp from you.
So our site is tgoeshrimp.com. We've got Neos and Caradina as well as some moss on the website. And we have the website is just I'm lazy, man. The pictures are like 4 years old. It was just whatever picture was in my phone when I was setting that shrimp up on the website. I've set up a photo studio to take better pictures, but we've just been so busy with everything going on. We haven't had a night to take care of and update the site. So we've got plans. We just got a new logo this year, so we're working on getting everything looking more professional and taking things a little bit more serious. I've just been really like focusing on it more as a hobby standard, and it just kind of like paid for itself. But like, if you ask Shelby, uh, we're quite happy. We have quite a lot of things that we get to do because of shrimping, but we spend a lot of the money right back into the hobby.
Gotcha.
Just trying to grow it, and eventually it's going to pay off, and we'll make more money off of it in the future. But we do spend a lot of it, and luckily I got Shelby making all the bills, the big money, and we can focus. And if we don't sell shrimp this month, it's not really a big problem because they're not going anywhere. So then next month we'll have a sale and they'll go pretty well. But if not, Shelby pays all the bills. She's a manager at West Marine, so I'm pretty lucky to have her.
Right. Amen. Amen. Patrick Hardy has a question. Do you think extreme aquatic shrimping good, aka okay food?
So they were at our aquatic expo in Coral Springs, Florida, and they gave us some of the food. But then that was like right before Aquashella. That was right before, well, that was Halloween. It was Aquashella, and then right before holiday season, Black Friday. Our Black Friday sales start the entire month. I don't like to try and compete with the whole shipping of Cyber Monday and Black Friday, so I offer my sales early so that way the shrimp get home faster. And so I was just so busy. I like to when I get new food, I like to observe it and see how all the shrimp are taking it in. So I have some of their food. I just have not yet to get to use it. So I can't respond on it. But in the future, I will be doing probably like a little video on it, on how I like it.
Okay. But Hippie John, what's going on?
How's it going, Hippie?
All right. Have you gone to any of the Aquashellas?
So we've gone to all the Aquashellas except for the very first one in Chicago.
Okay. What are your thoughts? Comparison, first one you went to the last one.
Man, since the first one I was hooked. We weren't involved on the staff or anything at the time. We were just entering shrimp and traveling and enjoying the different booths. We're the type of family where if we go somewhere new, we go and check out the local fish clubs, or not fish clubs, fish stores and stuff like that. So it's really like a place where you can go that has more than any local fish store is ever going to have. You're going to have stuff from, line breeders of guppies to flower horns and everything in between. Well, not everything in between, but a lot of different varieties in between, and a bunch of different creators from different YouTube channels. It's just basically like a hub where everybody in the hobby gets together. And if you're looking for, a really nice tank or a deal on something, you can probably find it at Aquashella. So it's definitely any type of the Aqua Expos or Repticons or stuff like that. We love the shows. So, but Aquashella kind of is like a mix of everything in one. So it's the best of all worlds.
Gotcha. Surf City Cichlids, welcome in. So how long have you been doing YouTube and slash Instagram also?
So we got into it like maybe 4 or 5 years ago for YouTube, and I kind of set it up to where people were asking me questions and I would just refer them to a YouTube video, and it was real helpful and stuff like that. So that's kind of how I got started on the YouTube. It was to help people out because one question would lead into a follow-up question. So I designed my videos so it would cover everybody's frequently asked questions and follow-up questions. And I just kind of ran out of time. I was inexperienced. I was probably only like 3 years into the hobby and trying to do YouTube videos at the same time. And I had 155 different or 155 tanks at the time. And it was just too much for me to do YouTube videos. So I took like a 3-year break from doing YouTube videos. And I wasn't going to do them again. I just didn't have enough time. And Shelby stepped up and was like, hey, I think we should start doing YouTube videos again. You film them, I'll edit them, and we'll start cranking them out once a week. And I think for the last year and a couple months, we've been trying. And you can really tell, like when we first started, the thumbnails, they're just photos chosen out of the videos, but now she'll spend like an hour on a thumbnail picture, and her editing skills have really gone to next level. So our quality's gone up. It's worth getting a new mic and taking things a little bit more seriously. So she definitely enjoys it now. And when I don't want to do it, she kind of motivates me to get it done. So the channel wouldn't be anything without Shelby, but it definitely helps us out with our business, and it helps the hobby a lot. I'm surprised how many people are like, yeah, I watched this video, so I know what you're talking about. I'm like, man, that's making it easy for me. So I enjoy it.
Gotcha. Dynamic duo. Reminded me of ADHD and her hubby over there. That's what I'm talking about, man. Family that are hobbies together, stays together. Or should I want to sound, throw it off. A family that hobbies together stays hoppy together. I just came up with that, y'all, just right there on the spot. No, I don't get paid for it. I don't.
Well, she actually wanted to call our next video "A Family That Escapes Together Stays Together," and I'm like, you're kind of implying we got issues though, but I don't know. But I thought maybe it would be better, like the two of us or the four of us, like standing off like UFC fighters before fight night, and boys versus girls or something like that, because that's how it kind of ended up. But yeah, I don't know. We're still in an argument on that. That'll be a video coming up.
That's cool though, man, to even have that as a good problem. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm not even tripping.
Yeah, I was worried my son was gonna last year. My son lost to my daughter, and that was the first time he even lost an aquascape contest. He's won first place in all the ones before that, and then Layla beats him one time, and he got so upset. And I was kind of worried if Layla beat him again this time, that he might not try anymore. He might just, Dad told me how to set up a tank, so I got to set up a tank. But this time he was like, Dad, does this look good? Do I need to do this? He was trying. So he's definitely into it. So I was happy he won. But Layla is just as into it, and we had to go back 4 days to get the contest done. And the third day, she was really mad that one of her pieces of moss came up, and she's like, I need to fix that. And I'm like, I don't think we have time. I'm sorry. Like, she's like, I want to get that fixed, And then the fourth day, Shelby was done with her tank, so I was the only one working. I think they fixed it for her, and she was happy finally. But yeah, they're into it.
Okay, yeah, that's real cool, real cool. Boss Aquatics, what's going on, brother? What's happening? Welcome in, welcome in. So, let everybody know about your involvement in the shrimp. In the what is the next aquashella that's coming? What you got? Break it down.
All right, so next week, the 26th and the 27th, is Aquashella Orlando at the Gaylord Palms Resort, and it is hosted by Aquashella. It is the American Shrimp Contest, that event that me and Shelby are in charge of organizing. It is a shrimp contest of United States breeders only, so no foreign entries allowed. and it is a beginner's contest. If somebody wins an award, we try to encourage them to be a judge for the shows to give new people a chance at winning. And we are also doing a Breeder of the Year program. So we encourage people to enter shrimp into every show. And it's not too late to sign up for this show. Tuesday is the deadline to sign up. And you must have your shrimp turned in by Friday at 5 p.m. You can ship your shrimp in, so anybody in the United States can enter. Ship them in. You can send a return label. I'll ship them back to you, or we can auction them off. And we're doing a 30-70 split, so 70% will go back to the breeder. And, best to show wins $250. And we're working on getting some prizes for first place in each category as well. So if you're interested, you breed your own shrimp. You've got 3 to 5 shrimp that, they're big, beautiful, and they all look the same. You'll do pretty well in the contest. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to Shelby or myself, and we'd be happy to help you.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's very, very cool. How? I don't know. Well, I guess you would have to have it broken down somewhere. What is the judging criteria?
So each group is a little bit different, but like on average, 30 points for size, 30 points for health, 30 points for color, and then like 10 to 20% is for like judges' discretion on how hard they think that shrimp is to breed compared to the others in that category.
Okay.
It's based off of a 100-point system. So each category is a little different. And then one of the categories is eye morphs, so orange eye, silver eye, hollow eye, red eye. So there's a certain judges score sheet for the intensity of the color of the eye. So there's different varieties to the different categories, but for the basics, that's about it.
Okay, gotcha. Pretty good. We got Surf City Cichlids. Did I shout you out? Tigo Shelby K. Is that your lady?
Yes, sir. Yeah. That's Shelby.
Okay. How do, ma'am? How do? Okay. Now, what would you say is the best route to go? No, not going to that one yet. Are you thinking about branching outside of this aquashella in regards to having shrimp competitions and being part of the judging and organizing of it?
So we're pretty lucky to have Aquashella as our like a stage to show everything. If we were to do like a smaller venue or something like that, we would lose the audience. And for me, a big part of the contest is showing it to all the people that don't even know that dwarf freshwater shrimp exists. Like you'd be surprised how many people come to the contest and go, "What are these? They're saltwater?" And then they start walking away, and you go, "No, they're freshwater." And then they start walking back because a lot of people don't even want to mess with saltwater. But then you got the saltwater people who are like, "Oh, I can't put these into my saltwater tank, but these are colorful and way cooler than." And cheaper than the fire red shrimp and stuff like that they keep in their tanks. So when you go to the $3 peppermint saltwater shrimp compared to our $3 blue dreams and stuff like that, we kind of get them on color. So you get a lot of people interested in the hobby that otherwise would have never even known about it if it wasn't for the Aquashella show. But It would be cool though if the hobby grew to a size where they wanted a show or a contest in other states. So it'd be worth going to other states that Aquashella. If Aquashella doesn't go to New York and we have enough people to do a contest there, and there's another expo there or something like that, maybe New York or California would be other good locations. But uh, it's just got to be the right opportunity, I guess.
Okay, okay. Now, what is in regards to a strong, healthy exoskeleton and things of that nature, in regards to your shrimp, what do you think is a good protocol? Parameters, supplementation in your water. What do you suggest?
So it depends on the shrimp. Neocaridina, you're going to want, 7 to 7.4 pH, but they don't necessarily have to be in that range. They can take 6 to 8, no problem. You're going to want at least 5 GH in your water. KH, it really doesn't matter, but you can go high. The state fair right now has our neocaridinas in 700 TDS, where it's only 200 here at the house, if that. So they're super hardy. They can take a wide variety. However, the Caridina, they have to have 150 TD, or not have to have. They have to have RO water with GH only minerals, because any KH in the water will fight the buffering capability of the substrate. And then you have to have a aqua soil, or you could use the Akadame, the bonsai soil, or something like that. But it needs to be a low pH buffering substrate, and that is the only way to achieve the low 6 pH that the Caridina shrimp need for the babies to molt and grow and survive.
Okay, okay. Now, I just thought about going back and approaching this because I had a question about it. Ghost shrimp, grass shrimp. Could you break down the difference in the saltwater, brackish water, freshwater grass shrimp? So for those of us that were like me, that heard all of the things, and you can't breed them in fresh water, you have to have brackish water, so on and so forth. Paul Man Basson, what's going on?
So I thought that it wasn't able to breed ghost shrimp when I kept them in my tank in my room as a kid. I had a hang on the back filter, and the filter was probably sucking up all the larvae. The larva is what they shrimp hatch out as, and they stay in a larva state until they molt, and then they transform or morph into a normal shrimp. And a lot of times, some of the shrimp will have their babies in freshwater streams, and the shrimp are carried off down the river into the brackish water, then out to the ocean where they feed on the plankton and stuff like that. And those shrimp, they just breed a lot faster, they grow a lot quicker, they're just more readily available. So that is more than often the shrimp that are caught and sold at pet stores as feeder shrimp, because they can just go and rake the seaweed beds, or the Valsinaria and the um, brackish estuaries, to catch as many shrimp as they want. A lot of them are wild caught and then sold to a wholesaler, and then they distribute them to the pet stores where you get them. There is another type of shrimp, though, because you can go into any freshwater body in Florida and catch ghost shrimp. They're in little puddles, they're in the retention ponds. Anything that hasn't dried up in the last year will probably have ghost shrimp available. And those shrimp are not going out into salt water and surviving. Even though they're the same two shrimp, it's just the generations and generations they've adapted to it, and it's built into their genetic code to flow out into the river and eat those specific algae to survive, where the other shrimp that they're used to growing up in ponds and stuff like that, those are the ones that are going to adapt in fresh water. The problem is, unless you get the ones that are bred from a breeder, you don't know which ones you're getting. But more than likely, if you're getting them from a pet store, they're getting as many as they possibly can from the brackish or saltwater beds that they're catching them.
Okay, okay. So it's a roll of the dice. Depending
Yeah.
on, you just have no idea. Okay, okay.
And then with ghost shrimp, also a lot of people that they'll do high flow and stuff like that. And the high flow larvae, they need these certain algae to survive. Where the tanks that don't have any flow and they stay real dirty, lots of mold and stuff like that, the larva will be able to feast off of that. And they kind of like they instead of flowing around, the larva will go down towards the bottom and be able to feast off the mold and particles on the bottom of the stagnant pool. So if you're going to breed them, it's probably best to breed them without a filter.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay. Do you have any fish that you are uh, have an extreme liking to that you actually have?
Just the koi fish. I'm from Hawaii, and the malls, the parks, everywhere they can put a koi pond in Hawaii. There's a koi pond basically. And as a kid, I always had a koi pond out back, so they've just grown on me, and I had my first batch of koi hatch 2 years ago, and they're just one of the funnest and nicest shrimp. I think they have so much personality. I've got one that it's my favorite by far. It just kind of goes to the surface of the water when it's hungry and just kind of swims in spot and shakes its body around a little bit, but it's adorable, and it's just like a puppy dog. It just wants food and it's trying to get attention.
Okay. What's the biggest koi you have in your pond?
I'd say 2 foot.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen some huge koi. Man. Two
Yeah,
foot, I'd say, is pretty good size.
yeah, not nothing humongous, but we've got a local legend, Bill Shields, whose pool is also a koi pond. I think it has turtles too. I can't remember. But he was basically, yeah, man, come on over, help me catch some, and I need a call and get rid of some of them anyways. And it was whatever ones we could catch. I basically got to take home with me, and some of them were nice big stunners. I was like, "You sure I'm allowed to take this one?" He's like, "Oh yeah, there's more just like it in the pond." I'm like, "Oh man, I was so lucky that day. I didn't even lose a single fish either." And he's an hour and a half away, so it was nerve wracking for sure. But I didn't lose any fish. They were tanks, so really lucky to have them.
Okay. Israel Punts. What's going on? What's going on? Welcome in. Welcome in. Announcement, y'all. I launched my podcast today on what is the podcast provider? It's on uh Spotify. It's just the right now it's just this live stream that I have here in a podcast form. And to get it started, that's the direction I'm going right now. But I'm gonna, I'm fiddling around with doing it completely separate, not necessarily far away from what I'm doing here, but I may have different people over there, and doing it in somewhat of a different format. But I launched that today on Spotify. Y'all check that out for me. Share it to some people. Let's get the ball rolling. Just trying to get this thing going. I've had some people tell me that I do pretty good talking to folks. So if I do pretty good talking to some folks, see if I can make some money talking to people. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're
So,
entertaining. There's not very many breaks in the entertainment at all. So it's good.
hey, I believe in this platform per se. I have fish. I really, really, really like having my fish, but I'm not the diehard fish guy. I'm a diehard people guy. And if you have the same interests as I do, hey, I could talk to you forever. And I believe in, putting people in a position to win, to be motivated, to know that they're not alone. Because man, especially with the stuff we've been going through here lately, people need to know that they're not alone because it feels like we are quite often. We seems like we're going downhill, but I don't think it's over yet, y'all. Don't give up. I don't think it's over yet. I don't think it's over yet. It looks crazy, but you got centuries where different generations of people have those points, those real heavy down points that they have to deal with. This is ours. It's okay. It's okay. We making it, and we're gonna continue to make it. All right. That's cool. That's cool. Okay. We are at the 1 hour mark, and it's time for us to get out of here, people. I want to thank Grant for coming on here. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, man. I enjoyed it. I was worried I was gonna give you a yawn or something. I'm not normally up this late at night. I'm on the East Coast. Yeah, so I thought I was gonna be tired, but nah, you kept me wide awake and hyped. So it was great talking with you. I really
Hey,
enjoyed
man.
it, and you're always welcome to invite me back, or one day get Shelby up on the stream. She's gonna have to make it one of these times.
Hey, most definitely. Most definitely. I don't have no problem with it. Y'all might can even be on the podcast. If I try something new and we just do a whole different little old thing, you might be able to do that too. But yeah, man, I really enjoyed it, man. And I mean, shrimp, that's a big thing now. And for you to have as many different types of shrimp as you have, for you to be as knowledgeable. Chris Goyette, what's going on? What's going on? Thank you. For you to be as knowledgeable as you are, man, it's refreshing. Yes, sir, Hippie John. Next week, y'all, he's gonna be in the house.
I'll look forward to watching that one.
Yeah, man. I believe for what all we can do is be is profitable the right word? I guess I can use that word. You'll know what I mean, whether it actually fits or not. But we can be profitable for someone else. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, anybody that's passionate about the hobby and wants to grow and better the hobby, I'm all for it. Working with them and collaborating, and anything that's going to better you is going to better me, vice versa. So, hey, anything we can do together and work with one another, I'm all for it.
Most definitely. And you're welcome, Miss Shelby. Hey, give them another time frame on entering their shrimp in this next aqua shell.
Got to register by Tuesday, and then you can ship your shrimp in, and they must be in by 5 o'clock on Friday, the 25th.
Okay, that's wonderful. Hey, y'all remember, tell somebody you love them because we all need to hear it. I don't care what you say, we all need to hear it. And take care of those fish. And we're out. Peace.
See you guys.